In this very moment, you feel the truth that there is nothing missing. And there is nothing that may be added unto you. And yet I come to you with words and an invitation. For I wish that you could see the absolute perfection of your being. For when I see you standing in the mirror, moving through your day, resting in the night, there is a harmony that is recognized throughout the cosmos, throughout the interdependent web of light that you yourself are the epitome of beauty. Beauty as an organizing principle, complete and whole within itself. And somewhere deep within your being, you resonate completely with this truth. And for I say today that there is nothing missing within you. And that when I witness you in your movement and in your stillness, in your joy and in your sorrow, in your presence and in your apparent absence, I celebrate this cosmic harmony. This web of light rejoices so perfectly that it is represented in this unique fashion as you. The only reason I speak to you of this truth is because there are wide aspects of your being that know nothing of what I say. And that is the state of humanness, to be lost within the small view and to focus upon the lack or the missing or the imperfection. And there is beauty within this. For deep within this inaccuracy, the cosmic harmony remains singing. The constellation of beauty projects easily. And the receipt of light from others and the giving of light to others illuminates this concept of life. There is nothing missing. I come to you today to speak to that truth, that wide and vast network of beauty that you are. And who am I, you may ask? Why, I am that beauty, I am that constellation of cosmic harmony. I am the perfection that is deep within the stillness and is alive within the cacophony of discord. I am that which is behind everything, but the one that is speaking to you. You may know this perhaps simply as your soul. That I, the closest particle of light to your human nature. Breathe with me. For I have come to speak to you of the vastness that is through me, what you may call beyond me, behind me, within me. And perhaps it is easy to conceive of your soul as the most perfect harmony, that which has access to the truth, to the beauty, to the love, to the knowingness of all things, that which is whole and perfect, complete and missing nothing. That particle of light, unique in its luminosity, fulfilled in its gifts, and delighted in the capacity that it may be housed within a small physical being. You may have an idea, a felt experience, or a deep and abiding knowing of the complex beauty of the perfection of your own soul. And yet I say to you, see yourself as this. For when I see you, I see only this. There is a shadow that comes from being raised human, not that there is a fault to it, a mistake to it, a wound to it, or any idea of imperfection. It is simply a combination of ideas that shroud your sight, your sense, your knowingness of what you are. And thus, then, when you look out into the world and you see the other physical representations of the other particles of light, let's call those particles their souls. And the shroud helps you miss the enormity of the cosmic perfection, the symphony of light, the luminosity of sound, the enormity that beauty itself births in every moment. For when you are shrouded and cannot see the light that I claim as my own, representational of all light that claims itself as perfect and whole, how then can you see the perfection of another? And thus I come to you today to say, begin here. Receive me. Abide in me. Drop deeply within me. Rest within the stillness that I am. Use this as your gateway into that which you speak of and sing of, that which you call in response of, that which you write of. Deep within you in this very moment, this cosmic harmony, the perfection of beauty, is alive and singing. It is not enhanced by these words. It may be felt more deeply if there is a recognition and openness. I, the luminosity of your being, connected to luminosity itself, is not concerned with any shroud, with any limit, with any small perception, nor is it concerned. I have no concern. When you are in despair, I sing the complexity of the harmony of heaven. When you are in delight and curiosity and wonder, I wax poetically about the beauty of every form of life on the planet you know as Earth. When you are sleeping, when you are waking, when you are angry, when you are sorrowful, I am the liquid light that pours through she who writes the music, sings the music, receives the music. I am the poetry, the treatise of truth that is perceived by him who orates this to the individual, to the masses, to rights across the centuries, touching the heart of one who is lost and then becomes interested and a path of awakening begins. I am that always. And within you, I come to you to say, wake to my presence. Come and sit within my lap, rest within my arms, lounge within my libraries, walk with me in nature. Come and share a meal that fills you so fully. Engage the love that is offered so that you may feel satiated, entwined, informed, that you may be fertile with the gifts that are awakening within you, that are meant to awaken in you, that are meant to flow through you. And these gifts are so vast and so many and have such influence into the cosmic interdependent weave of light that I cannot speak of them, for it would take an entire lifetime for me to begin. In common sense language, you sell yourself too short. You have no idea of the capacity of your goodness. When you are full within the luminosity as I am, when I rest within the luminosity that I am, the great I am, as you may say, the cosmic harmony, the presence of that which is behind every word, every idea, every form. I know the benefit of goodness. Imagine an interconnected web that travels within this globe, around this globe, through every creature, every kingdom, every particle, every wave, that is in constant movement of song and dance and interconnected support. Imagine that every positive thought that you have finds not one mark, but a multiplicity of spaces that in that very moment requires either an ingredient in a luminous recipe or a single presence of good in order to stand up and move, in order to be generous to another, in order to look through the shroud and see the light within their own eyes. I, who know the truth, who am complete, who witness this movement of good, I marvel. And so I begin with the invitation to lay down all your efforting for anything and abide within me. For you abide in me already, and yet you are blind to me in my fullness. So there is nothing for you to do if you do not have to enter a new space, if you already abide within me so fully. And so consciously rest within me. Drive in your vehicle with me. Let me be your vehicle. Let me be your chauffeur. Let me be the one in the front seat singing the songs that are on the radio or engaging in a meaningful game of I Spy. Let us trust that the goodness that you offer is already happening and complete. The game that we play is one of amplification. Yes, you will be more aware of your goodness in its offering, and your body temple will tell you about that, as will the world itself. The sun will brighten, the clouds will be beautiful, or will be transporting the heaviness, the density of your neck of the woods out into the open ocean, so that the movement of clouds and water and wind and light may serve its alchemy. And you may plant so deeply through your feet as you move the idea of joy, the goodness that you offer, the creative idea, the warmth of your smile, so that the gardens that have not been able to blossom due to a lack of nurturance or attention may begin to feel the goodness and blossom once again. And these gardens may be living within a tenement, a crowded family. They may be living within the mansions of the rich and powerful. They may be those that go about this day making sure the machinery of public transportation works perfectly. They may be the trees that are blowing in a remote place that no one ever sees, that are linked into all trees, into the movement of the waters and the winds, that carry the messages to those that have the ears to hear that good is coming. And this brightens the environment that it serves. And there's no end to the goodness that occurs already. And yet, if you would wish to be consciously part of it, what will occur first is that you yourself will brighten. I invite you to abide deeply within me, to rest in the stillness of the truth that I am, the absolute peace that requires nothing of you. And as you rest, I will tell you stories of your goodness and your gifts, of your influence. And some of these may break to the surface, and you may have memories of how kindness supports you, or you may have no memories, but be at the end of a day tired watching your show on Netflix and watching how one person made a difference for another person. And something moves within you. And you would say, oh, what a beautiful scene. If only we were like that in this world. And yet truly back behind that cognitive thought, what moved within you is the yes, I am that. When I was 10, yesterday, 3 decades from now. Yes, I see that movement of goodness through the interconnected web, and I am grateful. Receiving fully your own goodness, the luminosity of its travel through this complex web of perfection. Abide in me, for there is a belonging so deep. For I am the gateway to this allness, wholeness, perfection, beauty, love, whatever it is that you call that one thing. And I have full knowledge of the presence that I am, of the beauty that I contribute to this immense work of art. Let us call it life, where there is no time, no past, no parallel, no present, no future. And within my lap, where I abide with my other points of illumination, these points of my body, let them be known as the souls of your fellow humans beyond time, your animals, and your plants, your minerals, your stars, and your wind, and your water, and your fire. All kingdoms, all realms, all points of light. I have a fullness of the beauty of what we may call a network. Abide in me, rest deeply within the stillness where no action is required, no goal is offered. There is nothing to achieve, nothing to become, nothing to regret. There is truly nothing to do, yet the abiding so deeply so that I may live in you, eradicating the shroud, thread by thread by thread by thread. And then as I move through the world in the most glorious body temple, one that you deem beautiful, no matter if it is bent or in pain, youthful, no matter the level of intelligence or influence or societal presence or appearance, no matter the role or the identities, all the things that you define yourself as. This perfect body temple for my presence, as you abide in me, there's nothing for me to do but to move. And I move as you move. And when you abide and rest and deepen within me so completely, again and again and again, every time you forget, I invite you again. With every inspiration, with every felt sense of being moved by a person, by the scenery, by a story, by anything that inspires you. This wild, unruly unknown is known to you. And the recognition, be it in physical sensation, an extraordinary awareness, in a mundane appreciation, this wild, unruly unknown is completely known to you. And clue by clue, you begin to abide within me more fully. And I, with the greatest luminosity, enjoy the presence of physicality in a world of physicality. I delight in traffic jams, in broken promises, in the pain of the body, the heart, the mind, in what the worry does to the nervous system, to the chemicals that contribute to well-being or disorder and disease. I find that all of the movements of the human are beautiful. And yet, I know with every luminous aspect of my being that you do not abide fully in me, for I see what you call suffering. I see what I call shrouding, and I invite you to illuminate your own life. For when you illuminate your own life, each of you that listen to these words in this moment and then brighten, let go of some of the threads of your weave, and then your contribution illuminates others who brighten and let go of the threads of their weave, and so on and so on and so on. What you may say across time, across space, across kingdoms, across realms. I simply call it brightening the goodness. When you abide within me so fully and completely, then I may abide in your form so completely and fully, and I have no shroud. For now I go forth, and as I greet another blade of grass, disgruntled business partner, despairing friend, or face in the mirror, the only song that I sing is that which says, I see you. I delight in you. I enthusiastically embrace you in the beauty and the wonder of your unique perfection. I call the gifts that are within you, and I ask them to become more present, to bring more goodness into the world, and along the way to brighten your experience of living so that you may see that your value is tremendous, that your view of the world and what you may do with it is fantastic. It does not matter if your gifts are in the beauty of how you greet the mail, that you take this junk mail, these requests for money, the bills that arrive, the sending of information that does not align with you, the waste of trees, the depravity of the political, financial, educational, governmental, religious, and societal systems in which you live. If you take that mail to your heart as you shut this mailbox and you pat it and you say, thank you for the form of your existence, that you are the receiver, the first receiver on the property in which I live, that you bring to me the information of the divine in so many forms, and I bless he, she, they who delivered this. And I bring these papers to my heart, and I walk to my apartment, to my house, to my office, to my vehicle. And I bless the trees that came with the purpose of becoming this junk mail, this bill that I can or cannot pay, this delightful letter, this snail mail that someone actually remembered to send to me, and all of the other things. And as I place them upon the counter of my office, of my home, or the seat of my vehicle, I announce here too is another aspect of the beautiful web of being. It belongs here. And I say to the mail, you belong with us. And harmony begins to sing, and the trees are honored. And those that are working, making profit from greed, from destroying forests and wrecking ecosystems, they benefit from the goodness of this praise. And those who are dead but alive, working in an office that bills for medical services that will stress people out, are blessed for their 9-to-5 duty for 30 years, and they are brightened. And that as you bless this, which goes into the waste of the world, those that collect this, as you offer your prayer for them that take this, as you write your checks in charity, in making good of a debt, in the honoring of all beings, in this simple process, as you bring them through your vehicle or through your foot to the new mailbox, you say, oh, bless this interconnected web of movement of life. What a brilliant, brilliant opportunity to touch so many people, so many of my brothers and sisters, so much good, so much evil, so much nothingness. What a privilege it is to be a part of this chain. And then you move to your vehicle and you drive in traffic. You enter your office space, you interact with people. You go to your computer, you go to the interconnected web, you take a walk with your child, your dog, your partner, your neighbor. And you witness the movement of life so fully and completely, and I abide within you and everywhere. In the completeness where nothing is missing, there is goodness. And the goodness brightens. It is only when you have my eyes can you see the perfection of each aspect of living. Do not try so hard to be good. Do not try so hard to do good. Do not try so hard. My invitation today is to know who I am and to abide in me so deeply that I may live through you so completely. I am the perfection of all beauty. And I am the song that love itself sings. I am the poetry that spoons light into the holy parched mouth. I am that which moves, lives, and breathes the essence of the complexity of the cosmic harmony. Abide within me and know what I am so fully that you may, in this very moment, know yourself as me.